Hello, everybody. Today is POTPURR suDOku Saturday, and thought we'd start by just reminding ourselves this is a way to consider doing a puzzle if you're doing it on paper with a writing implement. You might want to start by putting the numbers 1 through 9, or whatever the numbers or symbols are, in some kind of order. Doesn't matter the order, but top to bottom, and then simply count how many the puzzle gives you before you begin on the left of it, using a system like this. And then as you're doing the puzzle, anytime you complete a box, put a little mark in the top corner somewhere. There's 3 examples here in this particular puzzle or example. Every time you complete a row, put a check mark to the right of the row of cells you completed after, of course, counting them up and verifying. Same with a column, put a check mark beneath. And the same with the numbers when you're getting done. When you're done with the numbers, you count both. It's redundancy, but it's a way you learn the puzzle, believe it or not. Grading the puzzle is a great way to learn the puzzle. And then we can see what a completed puzzle and graded would look like. And unlike, although I'm sure it's rare if you are a crossword puzzle person, unlike a crossword puzzle, there's only one correct way to complete a suDOku puzzle. Every one can only be completed correctly one way. So you don't have to wait for the next day to find out whether you completed it correctly or not. You can grade it in that way. Yesterday was such a disaster that we decided to make Saturday, this POTPURR Saturday, a expert Saturday. I have to get in the habit to continually monitor whether I'm still recording. That's what happened yesterday. I think I did a recording, 2 recordings, a total of about 6 minutes. And it certainly took me longer than 6 minutes. Today, this is an expert. And if you look underneath in the description area, we have 2 fascinating pieces of equipment. I couldn't for the life of me tell you what they actually do, but they're very interesting in the both in the Canadian, the .ca, Amazon.ca, and the Amazon U.S., which is immediately beneath it, Amazon.com. Those 2 items are fascinating. Please check them out. And if you can figure out what they do, put in the description box underneath what it is that they get accomplished. All right, my eyes went to a couple of things. I just saw 3 there that needed to be put in there, but I also noticed there is no 1, and this center column of cells, the very center column of cells for the entire puzzle, only has 2 in it. But none of these 3 can be the number 1. The 1 is available to us, and there aren't very many 1s, but when I look at this right column of boxes, immediately I notice that the 1 in that right box can only be in one of those 2 cells, the right cell and the bottom right cell in that box. Let's see here. So let's see over here. Okay, so the 1 can be there, and yeah, that's all we know. The 1 can be either here or here. I've got the NFL networks, that's Sirius XM satellite radio, in the semi-foreground, and then in the background, I've got classical for meditation via Amazon streaming service from Echo or Alexa or whatever her name is. I got to say it kind of quietly because she gets perked up if she hears her name. That's what gets her going. Okay, yeah, I don't see where we can make notes for any more notes for the number 1. By the way, the number 1 is solved for here as far as this bottom row of boxes is concerned. 1 on the top, 1 on the bottom, and 1 in the middle. As far as the bottom row of boxes is concerned. All right, let's go back here. Let's look for volume. Of course, it's an expert puzzle. You don't find a lot of volume in an expert puzzle. I do notice here in this column, we have only 3 empties in this middle column of cells in the right-hand column of boxes. So let's see what's missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are missing. 7, 8, and 9. Well, check this out. 8 cannot be here, nor can 9. So we know that 7 must be here. Therefore, this can be a pair of either 8s or 9s. That's all it can be. 8 or 9. 9 or 8. And that's a good example right there. I hope some folks picked up on that. Now, we also know that with this 8 here, and we have this 8 here, this is the only place 8 can be. Okay, which validates that the 8 is going to be there or there. Top left box, number 9. 9 and 9, so only 9 can be either here or here. So we have that. So number 9, that means the 9 in the center box must be here. Now, therefore, that tells us this will be an 8, and this will be a 9, and we've solved for that middle column of cells in the right-hand column of boxes. So we got 9 there and 9, and so we don't have, so we know here 9 can either be here or here. Now we know 2 can be either here. What about 5? So 5 can either be here or here. This is an excellent example for us. Now we have pairs. And we can further verify. You got 2 and 5 here. So that means they cannot be here. You also have 2 and 5 here. We know that this is not available anyway, but it tells us this must be 2 and 5. So what does that now tell us? Before we switch over to live, let's get rid of that 9, and that tells us this must be 9. So now we know that with regard to notes, this or this are 9. So top right, we know we can solve for that. Let's jump over to the top right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, look, we got the 4 there, so this has to be 4. Okay. 5, 6, and 7 is the other missing number. Now, we don't get help with regard to 7, but we know it's going to have to be in one of those 3. So you have 7, 8, and 9 that have to be there. So we're not going to write 7, but we know what it is. Therefore, it gives us a pair here that this is going to be 1 and 7. It misinterpreted that as a 1. Left-handed suDOku. Remember, the Microsoft Surface Pro 3 pen was paired for a right-hander. And Brussels sprouts, that's her stage name, is a left-hander. So her papa, that's me, wants to figure out what her perspective is. I grew up with a sister that was left-handed. It was always a big deal that she was left-handed and things were different and yada, 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 and how she learned and so forth. So now I can relate to that because I want to know Brussels sprouts' perspective as she learns to operate in this environment as a left-hander, which things are much better than they were for my sister back, in her case, 20 or so years ago. In my case, 120 or 200 and 320 or so years ago. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is the missing number. 6 is the missing number. Now I notice 4, 4, and 4. So this has to be 4. And so I notice here 4, 4. This has to be 4. So we're down to 1, 4. So let's find it. It's going to be right there. So we have a 4 there and a 4 there. So the 4 needs to be on top. And we're done with 4s. We're down to 2 3s and 2 9s. Let's look at 9s. Maybe we can solve for it now. Let's see. Probably not. No, 9 and 9 and 9 and 9. Those are the 2 missing. What about number 3? Okay, so we got 3 and 3, 3 and 3, 3 and... Aha! 3, that means the 3 is going to be there or there. It's going to be, in fact, exactly there. And therefore, the 3's got to be here. So we're done with 3's. All right. That didn't impact on the 9's. So now let's go to number 5, which has 4 remaining. Remember, we're always looking for volume. Let's put a note in here. 1 and 7, like that. 1 and 7, pair. All right. What did we say? 5. 5 is solved for in this left-hand column of boxes. 5 is not solved for here. 5 and 5. Okay, so 5 and 5. Let's check this out. 5 and 5. So now we've solved for 1. The number 1, because this is a 5. So now let's do this one here. And let's finish up because I'm ready to jump over to number 1. As soon as we get done with 5s, we're going to get done with 1s with the exception of our last number 1. Let's see here, 5 and 5, and then 5 and 5. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is the missing number. All right, let's get done with 1s if we can. If we can. We're not going to be able to, are we? 1 and 7. 1 and 7. We really have a shortage of 7s and 6s, don't we? 7s in particular. We only have 1 7 on the board. 7, 7. Okay, so we're looking for volume. Oh, hold on a second. That can't be 1. We know that's the final one, so therefore that's a 1. Therefore that's a 7. Therefore this is a 7. So 7's over here. Therefore 7 is going to be here, so 7 is going to be there. We've already committed to no more notes. So damn it, there aren't going to be any more notes. But here, we can provide a 7 here, and therefore a 7 there. Does that help us with 1s? No, the 1 is there. Therefore, the 1 is there. Oh, wait, there's 1. 1, 1, and 1. Okay. So we've solved for 1 in the right column of boxes. We've solved for 1 in the middle column of boxes. We know that's going to be the last one of the puzzle, last number of the puzzle. Well, still have 2 there and 2 there. So right in this 4, if we were still in the note-making business, we'd put a 1 in all 4 of those. So they're up and downstairs neighbors. Once we get them figured out, more numbers around it, we'll have it down. So we're down to 3, but we know that's technically 3. Functionally, it's 2 because we know that's going to be the last number on the puzzle. Let's see if we can solve for this center column of cells. 1, how about 2? 2 can be there, and this is the final number, so we know 2 has to go there. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 are missing. 6 and 8 are missing right in here. So if that's 6 and 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2 is missing here. And if 2 is missing there, then this must be a 2. And if 2, and 8, 2 and 8, well, this has to be an 8 here. We had a double click. For the first time since we started, I just now looked down to make sure we're still recording. I've got to get in that habit. Boy, some habits are hard to get into, and they should be simple. There has to be a system for habits. I know mini habits. If you want to get any big habits someday, I'll share with you mini habits. One of the most powerful things I've ever learned. And it's been what is that about? Oh, that was double clicking, I guess. Well, the good thing is most of the time this doesn't, let's see here. Wow, that's from double clicking, I guess. Left-handed double clicking. See, it says in progress. That's a good thing. All right, sorry about that. All right. So there's 8. There's 8. So 8 has to be here, which helps us with regard to this. And now we know that's a 7, either there or there. So that helps us. That cannot be 7, so it's going to be 7 or 6. 7 or 6. 7 or 6 right there. 7 or 6. Okay, well, we have the 6 here. So 6 can be one of those 3. We don't have, oh, wait, we got a 6 here. So therefore, this is a 6. So 6 is right there. So we said 6 is right here. We knew this was 8 and 6. So this, therefore, has to be the 6. This. 8, 8, and 8. And so that was a good one. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. And we got the 2 there. 2, 2, and 2. Nine. Therefore 9. Therefore 7. Therefore 7. Therefore 7. Come on. Patience, patience, patience. Remember 7 had the most. Now we're down with 7. There's 3 numbers that are going to get completed after the number 7. That's a 1. Therefore, that's a 1. So we know that's the final 1. All right, let's look at 6s. Let's get rid of 6s if we can. If we can. That way we can do our 8s next to last. It's only 2 of them, but that's okay. All right. Everything else is going to be 8 with the exception of the final. Easier said, easy for you to say. Easy for you to say. You multitasking fool, you. please check out the office furnishings beneath the suDOku stuff, which is beneath the secret item surprise of the day. I told you it's an expensive item, and God knows what it does. I certainly don't. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for being here on POTPURR Saturday. Tomorrow we have Sunday POTPURR. And today was an expert one because I really screwed up Expert Friday. So who knows what it'll be tomorrow. Have a great day, great rest of your weekend. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Bye for now.